How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with prices going up or down. Coinbase CEO drops bombshell, Binance sold all its USDC. Why? In a startling revelation during Coinbase's Q2 earnings, it was announced that Binance had sold all their holdings of USDC. USDC market cap is up after Binance pulled out, which is weird because you would expect it to take a drop after one of the biggest holders withdrew. But that is not true. Isn't it interesting that USDT is being pressured down, and USDC, the main competitor that you would expect to be gaining from this situation, is redeemed heavily nevertheless, while suddenly a competitor born 2 days ago is getting all the attention. So Binance's new TUSD and FDUSD, they're getting a lot of people adding money into them, so they're getting a lot of people behind them out of nowhere. So this is causing some question as how can this be happening all of a sudden when not many people even heard of these yet. FDIC sent cease and desist to crypto firm that shuttered in June. So if you don't remember Unbanked, we talked about them a little while ago. They are still operating, and they made false claims that they were FDIC insured for their cryptocurrencies and other financial products, so they were issued a cease and desist. So onto the charts, we are trying to get a little bit of a bounce here. So this is good. This would be our third bounce off the bottom. If we do continue with green candles, this could set bullish momentum, and then we could see that break up of this pattern. RSI is trying to curl up, stochastic wants to get a bullish cross. Money flow is getting close to that bullish zone. It's kind of wishy-washy still. VWAP is coming up, momentum wants to come up, so if that VWAP can cross over and that money flow can gain some strength, we may get a push up from here, fill this gap, and continue upwards. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we did jump up out of our flag. We are retesting it, so if we come back down and come back in, then this flag is still possible. However, if we bounce off here and continue upward, we would invalidate it, and we could see some other moves up. So this could be more of like a goofy double bottom or something. Our stochastic is starting to curl, getting a bearish cross. RSI is starting to curl pretty drastic. Money flow is starting to come out. VWAP is sharply coming down. Our momentum is starting to come down. So if our VWAP heads toward that bearish territory, our momentum is going to get bearish pressure. Over on our Bitcoin futures, this flag we're still kind of pushing. Might even be able to call it a descending triangle with the way it's forming, which would still have about the same breakdown. So that could fill this area here, like we mentioned. RSI is curling, stochastic is curling, money flow is rejecting away, our VWAP is rejecting away, our momentum has a red dot because our VWAP is in the bearish territory again. So overall, we do have a possibility of a breakdown from here if we're not careful. Over on Bitcoin, we are testing the support of our flag that formed after our other flag, so just be wary of that. RSI is starting to slide, stochastic sliding. It does want to make a little bit of a rebound, so if it can curl up and gain bullish momentum, that could help save us. Money flow is struggling to get a new high. Kind of came up to the support resistance around 5 and then got rejected. It is heading toward that neutral, so if it breaks through and heads bearish, we could get bearish pressure here. VWAP is trying to come up and our momentum's trying to come up, but if our VWAP doesn't cross through that neutral, our momentum's likely to come back down. Over on the 4 hour, you can see we're getting a little bit of a bounce here, so that is good. We do have 2-3 bounces here, some freak breakouts, so we do have potential to come back up, get rejected, and then come back down, so watch out for that. RSI is heading up, stochastic's trying to head up, VWAP is trying to head up, money flow is trying to make a bounce here, but it is in the bearish territory on the 4 hour. Momentum is trying to come up as our VWAP's in the bullish territory and heading up, but if we get rejected around this support resistance for it, around this 5.5, we could get smacked down and see further bearish action. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic's running up pretty strong, RSI is trying to head up, our VWAP is running up kind of tapering out here, so just be wary because if it starts to roll over, then we'll get some bearish momentum. Momentum is coming up, but like I said, watch out for that VWAP. Money flow is trying to come up. We are getting close to that neutral, so if we can break through and gain some strong bullish momentum, we could invalidate this pattern and see some upside. However, if we hit it and get rejected, we could get our breakdown from there. Over on the 1 hour, you see we're getting a reversal arrow. We're trying to just zigzag, trying to push up. This may be a ascending triangle here, so that could save us, give us that bounce up I mentioned, bring us around this range, and then we could get rejected from this range and come back down, so keep that in mind. Stochastic is trying to head up, RSI is trying to head up, but starting to curl. Our momentum is coming up pretty decently, but our VWAP's making lower highs and starting to come down, so keep an eye on that. Our money flow is coming out in the bearish territory, did reject a bullish cross, so overall we have more bearish pressure across our time frames than bullish pressure. Over on graph for the daily, zoom out so we can get our volume profile. We are rejecting away from that point of control, hitting around this area where we warned about. So if we break through, we could see further bearish action to that value area low like we mentioned. RSI is heading down, Stochastic's heading down, VWAP is coming down but trying to make a slight bounce. So it is trying to get a little bit of a rebound, but we're not going very far. Our momentum is trying to come up, getting a little bit of a sign for a curl as our VWAP's trying to reverse. So if that VWAP can cross through, we could set a little bit of a bounce and push higher, and we may form some sort of a triangle here. Over on the 4 hour, we are overall sliding, so we do have somewhat of a down channel. Might be a pretty clean down channel at this point. Let's see. Not very clean of a down channel. But overall, we do have a slight down channel. This could be an upwards pattern that could bring us up if we don't get validated. That money flow is going to need to flip bullish for that to happen. RSI is trying to head up, Stochastic's trying to head up. Our VWAP is trying to come up, but it's starting to taper off. Our money flow is heading up, momentum's coming up, so we do have a little bit of a potential to make a little bit of a bounce here as we're setting some green candles, but we need some stronger green candles to come in. Around the 2 hour, you can see we're trying to push up, but not going very far. Stochastic's running up, RSI's trying to run up, VWAP is trying to head up, but struggling to break through the 7-8 zone. So if we get pushed down, we could set more bearish action. Our money flow is starting to get a rejection and point down, so our money flow could set a new bottom, and we could see further downside from that as well. Momentum does want to come up, but if that VWAP weakens, then that momentum will start to weaken as well. Over on the 1 hour, we have bearish divergence on our stochastic that's forming, so we are about to get rejected from that. That's not necessarily 100%, just like patterns. That's not always guaranteed to happen. RSI is starting to head down, momentum starting to curl off, VWAP is overall starting to taper out, making lower highs and heading down toward that neutral. So it could break bearish, money flow is in the bearish territory. So the 1 hour is looking a little more bearish currently. If we don't make a bounce, a strong bounce here, make some new highs on the money flow and the VWAP, then we could get a rejection from this area. Over on Anchor for the 1 day, we are making that retest, coming back up. RSI is trying to come up, Stochastic's trying to come up, money flow overall is heading out. VWAP is trying to come up, and our momentum's heading down, but trying to get a little bit of a curl as that VWAP's trying to recover. Over on the 4 hour, you can see we got that retest. We are trying to come back up again, so we are trying to push higher. Stochastic's running up, RSI's running up, money flow is trying to break through that neutral and gain bullish momentum, but it keeps getting rejected. We do keep getting higher lows. So if we can break through here, we could get some strong bullish momentum. VWAP is heading up, but starting to taper off. So that is starting to weaken our momentum. That is coming up, but it could taper off if that VWAP loses strength. Over on the 2 hour here, we're getting a little bit of a reversal after coming up. So that's signaling we could get a rejection. Our money flow is starting to taper away. VWAP's starting to taper away. Stochastic is running up, RSI is starting to curl off, and our momentum could start to curl away as our VWAP's coming down. So just exercise some caution. If we don't set more green candles and break through this range, we could see a push down as we filled our gap. Over on the 1 hour, we do still have that higher gap there and a higher gap here, so we could fill these gaps and then come back down for a rejection. That is possible, but we could also fill these gaps later, so keep that in mind. Stochastic is trying to run up. We do have a double red dot. Momentum's curling out. RSI is trying to head up. Our money flow is starting to taper out. Our VWAP is getting toward that neutral and about to break through. So exercise some caution over the next few candles. If we get bearish action and it's strong, we could see a further decrease, and we may not fill those gaps now. We may fill them later rather than sooner. Over on XRP, we're getting a little bit of a push down here. RSI is heading down, money flow is starting to reject. VWAP is heading down, trying to get a little bit of a curl on it. Our momentum's coming down, our RSI is coming down, and our stochastic's just dead. Over on the 4 hour, stochastic's trying to run up. RSI is somewhat kind of trying to maintain, so if that stochastic can gain bullish momentum, that RSI may be able to gain some traction. VWAP is trying to head up slightly, kind of tapering its way up. It'll need to gain some more momentum and head up stronger if we're going to get bounced. Our money flow is coming out. Our momentum is trying to come up, but starting to curl away as our VWAP is starting to look a little wishy-washy. Over on the 2 hour here, we are trying to get a push up, so that is good for us. We may get some sort of an ascending triangle play out here. Stochastic's running up, RSI is heading up, money flow is making higher lows and heading up. VWAP is overall getting lower highs, so just watch out for that, as that could signal some bearish momentum to come. Our momentum wave is heading up, so as long as our VWAP maintains bullish momentum, we do have that possibility to come back up. Over on the 1 hour, we have a manipulation X that wants to bring us down. Bearish divergence on stochastic. RSI is heading up. Our momentum is coming up. Our VWAP is making lower highs, so our VWAP is in danger of breaking through that neutral. Our money flow is rejecting away, so I would exercise some caution on the next few candles. If we set more red candles and start to slide here, we could lose our strength. Finally, on algo for the daily. Again, if there's anything you would like to see, mention it in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, visit our links down below. We'd really like to see you in our Discord. RSI is trying to head up, stochastic's trying to head up, VWAP's trying to come up. Our money flow is trying to head up. Our momentum wants to kind of get a bit of a curl as our VWAP's testing that neutral. So if our VWAP can break through here, that may be the kickstarter to give us some bullish momentum off this value area low here. And then we may see this pattern break out. Over on the 4 hour, stochastic is trying to run up, RSI is trying to head up, VWAP's trying to head up, our money flow is trying to break through that neutral, so the money flow can gain further bullish momentum here. We could push through, but if we start to taper off, then we're likely to push down. Momentum is coming up, so that is looking alright, but just keep an eye on that VWAP. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic's starting to curl away. A little too far. Stochastic's starting to curl away. RSI's starting to push up. VWAP's starting to lose strength. Money flow's starting to reject. Our momentum is coming up, but if that VWAP keeps rejecting, then momentum's going to come down. Over on the 1 hour, we do have a reversal arrow with a green dot that wants to give us some bullish push up. So watch for that, as we had these little bearish momentums that wanted to bring us down, but they didn't really go too far. Stochastic is heading down, RSI is sliding, momentum sliding, VWAP does want to break bullish, so if the VWAP can break bullish and the money flow can maintain this bullish momentum, we could get push up and see some breakout, and that would give us some further upside, and this could be a bottom for us. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.